It's Melanin VibeZ back with another video. So today, you guys, we have a nail video in store for us today. But before we get into it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that post notification bell so you can know every time that I upload. So let's get straight into it, sis. So what we're going to be doing today, as you can see, I don't have any nails on right now. I did remove my last set, and I basically did most of the prep for my nails. I'm going to just buffer back over them, and I'm also going to add some acetone to them just to make sure that they're very dry and dehydrated, and then we will add the tips on, and then we will start with the application process. So I'm just going to go in with this hand buffer. My nails aren't super thick because I have been wearing nails for a long time. So I don't really like to use the drill too much on them, as much as possible on my bare nail. I've already done this part, but I did do a few things since the last time I did it, and I just want to make sure I get all of the oil and everything out of my nails and make sure that there is nothing around my cuticle, no skin or anything, and kind of pushing those back in the process of doing this. So I'm just going to go in and lightly buffer over this. All right, and now that we have this, I'm gonna go in with some acetone, and I'm just going to rub this over my nails just to make sure that they're dehydrated. This is a hack that I've seen on TikTok, and for the most part, it does look like they are very thirsty, okay? And that's what we want. So I'm gonna go in with some clear tips, and I'm gonna start applying these and sizing them to it. I'm gonna use some Kiss Mega Hold. I'm kind of running out of this, so if anything, I do have a backup glue. So we're gonna get into measuring these out, and if it doesn't fit, I take my file and I just file on the sides of them to make it fit. So what I'm going to do is start measuring these out and get all of my tips on, and then I will come back so I can show you what length I'll be doing and the shape. You guys, we are back. I have my tips on. Now what I'm going to do is cut them as well as shape them before we get into the application process. I do want them really long, so I'm probably just only going to cut just a little bit off. And I'm going to use my nail clipper. And I'm only gonna cut just a little bit off. I'm really just gonna cut where the number is on there, and I'm gonna leave the rest as is, because I love me some claws, y'all. Okay, so this is the length that I'm gonna keep them. So like I said, I really didn't cut too much off, but now what I'm gonna do is go in and shape them, as well as run a file over where I put the tip at, just so that that can be nice and smooth, and we'll get into prepping the nail. I'm going to keep them for the most part square. I'm just going to do like a slight coffin, but for the most part we are going to keep them the length that they are and the shape that they are. Just slightly bring them sides in just a little bit. Checking out my work, making sure everything is good. Okay, so let me dust these off just so you guys can see what we're working with so far. So this is the shape so far. Not sure if you guys can see, but this is the shape so far of them. This is the length. And we are just going to do the same thing to the other hand. And I'm also going to go in over the tops of these and just kind of blend that into that nail a little bit more before we start prepping them. So I'm going to come back once I am done doing that and we will get straight into it. All right, you guys, so now that I am done with shaping these, and I've actually also buffed over all of the tips just to kind of blend them into the nail bed a little more. I'm just going over any last minute touches before we get into the prep. So these are the shapes of them right now. And yes, they are very long. I love no, but I love my claws, y'all. I love my nails really long. So this is the length that I'm going to keep them. I'm going to go in now with my dehydrator and my primer. This is Morven Professional Nail Style System. I got these off of Amazon. I am in need of some new primers and dehydrators. So please, in the comments, drop any ones that you may use for your nails. So what I'm going to do, since these aren't super strong strength, I'm actually going to go in with a few layers of these. So I'm going to start with the Nail Prep Dehydrator. Now I'm going to go in with the primer, and I will do 3 coats. So I'm going to go ahead and put these up. And now we're going to get into doing some of these beads, like I said, to kind of see which one I want to use. And I use the Mia Secrets Liquid Monomer. These are some of the acrylics that I am thinking about using. But before I just run in and just put them in, I'm going to try to do some bead work and kind of see which one is going to be the best. So I did go ahead and just do the beads. They're not the greatest, so don't come for my bead work. This is just me trying to test out the color to see which color I want to do. This first one is the Mia Secrets Nude Blush Acrylic. And that's this one right here. I do like that one. The second one is going to be Glam and Glitz, and this is First Impression. Then we have this pretty, I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but we have this really pretty white, and it has like these crystal iridescent looking glitter in it, and Glam and Glitz, and this is Sharon. Then we have this darker nude right here, which is by Glam and Glitz as well, and that is Never Enough Nude. I do really like that, but it's a little darker than what I would want it to be. And then we have this really pretty mint, and this is called Irish Cream, and this is by Glam and Glitz as well. So I'm not 100% sure which one I'm gonna go with, you guys, but we will get into this video and start applying the acrylic. I am gonna go in first with a little bit of clear acrylic just right over where the nail and the tip meets. I am not a nail tech, so I do not know the names of these things, you guys, but that is what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna pick a color and I will be right back. All right, you guys, so this was really a hard decision to pick which acrylic color I wanted to do, but seeing as though that it is closer to Thanksgiving, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this nude, which is the Mia Secrets Cover Nude Blush. So let's go. All right, you guys, so first I'm gonna start with adding a little bit of this clear acrylic just to the middle part of my nail, just for a little bit of stability. because the length of my nail is going to really play a factor, especially how hard I am on my nails. I need them to be as strong as possible. And with the holidays and everything coming up, I don't want to have to really do my nails. So I'm going to try to make them as strong as I can, just so that there's no lifting. So I just applied a thin little layer to the base of my nails, and I'm going to do that for all of them, and then we're going to get into the colored acrylic. And I'm not taking a super big bead. I'm so obsessed. Somehow I ended up not having the video of me doing the colored acrylic, so it's going to skip right to me encapsulating that color. I really enjoyed that part of the video, but hopefully I can get more videos where I can show you the full process. Alright, you guys, so I'm going to try to give my right hand just a little bit more time to dry down, but the left hand has been dry for a while, so I'm going to go in and encapsulate that color now. And I'm just going to lay this over the top of the color, just so that that color looks really nice and shiny. Bear with me, y'all. I am still getting used to doing nail videos. So I get out of frame a pretty decent amount of time in this video. So I will be more mindful of that when I do more nail videos in the future. Okay, y'all, so this is the color so far. This is with the clear acrylic on there. I'm not sure if the camera is really picking it up and doing it justice, but it is so pretty, you guys. So I'm going to give this a little bit of time to dry, and then I'm going to go in and encapsulate the color on my right hand. So we'll be back. All right, you guys, we have encapsulated all of our nails. So now what I'm going to do is let these dry completely, and then I will start filing them just to make sure my shape is still good. And then we will go in and we will start filing with our drill and just sealing these off. I like them so far. They're really pretty. They're really natural, really nude, although the length is crazy. I am in love with that. So I'm going to let these dry, and I will come back once I start filing and just keeping the shape together, and we'll get into some drilling. Stay tuned. Okay, guys, so while I'm waiting for my right hand to dry a little more, I'm going to go in and I'm going to start filing and shaping up my left hand. So I'm going to use a hand file, and I'm just going to make sure that I keep my shape before we start using the drill, and just get some of that excess acrylic off from the sides. I'm really excited with how my nails have came out so far. So first I'm going to go in with a drill bit that's like this, just so that I can get around my cuticle, and then I'll go in with a sanding bit so that I can gather everything together and just smooth everything over before we wash our hands. All right, so I'm going to change my bit, and I'm going to go in with the sanding bit now, just so I can kind of have a whole hand complete. All right, so now that we have sanded that whole hand, what I'm going to do is go in with my buffer, and I'm just going to buff over everything, sealing up everything, just making sure we're good to go. And then we're going to move over to the right hand. All right, so we're going to repeat the same steps to the right hand. All right, you guys, so it's really hard for me to use the drill with my right hand, even when I switch the setting. So I'm just going to go in with my hand file and just kind of seal up anything that I may have missed with that drill with the nail file, because, like I said, it's really hard for me to use that drill when it's not my right hand using it. Because that pretty much does the same thing. And I actually know some nail techs that don't use a drill, and they only use files. So now that we have that, I'm just going to go in with my buffer and just buff over everything before we wash our hands. All right, so we're done with the filing and the buffing process. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to put some cuticle oil around my nails. And then we will wash them and come back. And I'm going to add some jewels and a clear coat and we will be done. So I'm going to go in with the Mia Secrets Cuticle Oil. And before you put the cuticle oil on, I'm just going to open up my nail brush. I did get a new one today. So I'm happy about that because I can finally throw away my old one. And this one's way bigger, so that's better. So we'll just rub this in. And I'll come back once I have my lamp and my jewels out so that we can get into some paint. All right, you guys, we are back and the nails are clean, honey, and they are on point. They are beautiful. I love them. Yes. Yes, ma'am. So now I got to talk on my hands because, you know, you see it. Yes, sis. So anyways, y'all, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna put me a base coat down over these first, and then we're gonna get into some jewels. I'm not sure which jewels I want to use. I have some right here, so I'm not sure what pattern or what colors I want to do. I'm not gonna put too much because putting them on and the way they look are very pretty, but taking them off is tedious, especially because I'll be using the nail rhinestone glue, and that's by Maricat. So yeah, I'm gonna get into some base gel clear coat, and this is by Bead's gel polish, and it looks like this. So I'm gonna put this on first, and I'm gonna cue my nails for 60 seconds, and then after we do both hands, we'll go in with some gems. All right, so our first Q session is done on this hand, so I'm going to go ahead and paint the other hand, and I'll be back once we start our jewels. All right, you guys, I am done queuing my nails. I've decided on the color jewels I want. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to put them down, but I think I'm only going to put them on my ring fingers. That's usually my staple. That's usually my accent nail. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to lay these down, but let's see. Because I have some circle ones, and I also have some oval shaped ones. So I'm going to lay a few out. So I'm just checking that out. And actually, y'all, now that I'm looking at it, I'm not sure that I'm a fan of the color of these ones. I thought that I would like them more, but they're really showing more red than they're showing anything else. So I'm going to try some different ones. And I think I found a color that I actually will pop a little more. So I actually think I'm going to use these ones. They're more of like a yellowish gold. Okay, so yep, I found the ones that I actually want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and put these other ones up. I'm going to go in with my gem glue, and I'm just going to squeeze a little bit over the area of where I want the gems to be. I'm just going to lay those gems down, and then we will cue them. So I'm going to put that in for 30 seconds and let that cue. And I'm now going to go in with some titanium top coat, just so I can get this first hand out the way, and then we'll go in and we will repeat the same process for the right hand. All right, you guys, drum roll please. Here are the new nails. Yeah, they are so beautiful. That nude acrylic is life, y'all. Y'all, these are my new claws. They are so beautiful. And yes, I know they're kind of plain, but this is usually how I like my nails. I know there is a lot of different things you can do with nails, but this is just my go-to. In a different video, I'll do some more complex things. But for now, honey, this is it. A whole vibe. Yes. I love it. I hope you do too. And if you do like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that post notification bell so that you know every time I upload. And this is Melanin VibeZ. Keep going, keep growing. Bye.